disabled guy who recently lost my virginity at 32. I've never had a girlfriend because most of the girls I've liked have had boyfriends, and I suspect some were put off by my disability, although it's pretty mild. I have cerebral palsy and just need a frame or crutches to walk. I've always refused to pay for sex, preferring to wait for someone I cared about. From my mid-20s onwards I grew increasingly ashamed of being a virgin, and it really affected my mental health. Recently a girl I asked out, 23F, suggested FWB. I was a bit hesitant at first because I'd been holding out for a girlfriend for so long, but I thought, why not? And it was the most amazing experience. The feeling of being sexually intimate with another human being was overwhelming. I have no refractory period, so was able to make the moment last. And the best part was, she said afterwards, I'd never have known you were a virgin. You're more attentive than most guys I've been with. Now she wants to meet regularly. Anyone else had similar experiences they can share? And have you ever dated or slept with a disabled person? If not, would you be open to dating or FWB with them? I've had sex with a disabled person I met online. He didn't say, and I didn't ask, but I'm pretty sure he was a virgin. I never saw him again, but it wasn't because of his disability or his inexperience, it was because of his attitude. I was initially attracted because at first he seemed smart and funny and we had common interests. But as soon as he realized I wanted to fuck, he became a completely different person. When he wasn't focused on his dick, he was focused on his self-pity. He just would not stop talking about how pathetic he felt, and basically it sounded like he was insulting me for even being into him in the first place. After that night he contacted me every day begging for sex. No more fun chats about the video games or music we liked. If I wasn't coming over immediately to fuck him, then he wasn't interested in talking. And repeat. I finally blocked him. I guess this is just to say, virgins beware, when you do find a sexual partner, look at yourself critically and don't be this guy. I feel awful that I don't remember what his diagnosis was, but he used a wheelchair and ventilator, could not move anything but his face, but could feel everything. Muscular dystrophy, perhaps? Anyway, I came across his ad in the early days of Craigslist, and he was just really open with the fact that he was a young and otherwise healthy man, 30, and was going nuts because he couldn't even masturbate and didn't want to pay for sex. He just wanted someone to come help him out, so I did. The only reason it didn't continue is because even though neither of us were interested in a relationship, I still kind of wanted some of my tastes and preferences to matter, and he was pretty unwilling to make that happen. Otherwise, it was fun. He was a great kisser, out of this world with nipple sucking, and was ready to go over and over and over and over. I was really impressed. With regard to dating someone who is disabled, I could definitely see that, but I think for me it depends on the diagnosis, and how much caregiving would be required of me. I can't be sure, but if I know myself as I think I do, there are some daily activities I wouldn't want to be involved with on a regular basis. Was he able to speak? I'm just curious. You definitely don't have to answer. I'm a home health nurse who works with ventilator patients. I know my coworker/friend once pulled up porn and clicked through images for a quadriplegic 18-year-old boy. He had muscular dystrophy. She had been his nurse for years, and when he asked, she said she pulled it up on the laptop and clicked through images for him while she looked the other way. I remember that story so well. I can't imagine being a prisoner in your own body that way. You're still a person, you still have needs and wants. Yes, he could speak. Smile. His voice was a little bit raspy, and some sentences would have pauses in them punctuated by the quiet little whoosh of the oxygen to allow him to get the breath to finish, but he could speak. I don't mind answering. There's no way anyone would know who he was, so I don't feel I'm breaking confidentiality or anything. And yeah, that's why I answered the ad, your last point. Part of me was thinking, this is crazy. You're just going to meet some random dude for sex? But the larger part of me was like, man, that must suck. I'd sure want someone to help me out if I was in that position. It was great to be able to provide that relief.